So, I have a small confession to make. I really like Marvel stuff, the movies and the TV shows. I think they're great. I like watching them. And the Defenders came out, and I wanted to watch it, but I had to make the decision of where that time was going to come from. I couldn't call off work for a day and just binge watch 8 episodes. And there's a bunch of stuff I want to do this weekend. So this weekend's kind of shot. And so I was like, well, I also don't want to not make videos because I'm already going to have a bunch of really long videos back to back. And that's going to fucking kill me on time. So the time came from reading your comments. Sorry. But I finally caught up today, and there was a couple of comments that I wanted to kind of address. I'm not going to use any specifics. Don't look for these people and decide to fuck with them. I hate that shit. People should be able to voice their opinions on the site, and they should be able to get answers from me directly. There's no problem with this. They can disagree with me, and they can have their own opinions. It's just the way it is, right? So, one thing, somebody got upset because I said cunt. And, my response to that is thusly. And I wanted to say this with you being able to look at me so that you can see that I'm not trying to be offensive with this. I'm just stating fact, right? This is an adult channel. I've had 2, I think maybe 3 people that in the comments have said that they were 13, 14, 15, whatever. And I've always said, I answer their comment, and then I always say, you need to ask your parents for permission to be able to be subscribed to me, able to watch my show. Now, that is about as meaningless as, are you 18? Press here to enter. You know what I mean? Whatever. One of the kids was like, okay. And I thought that was kind of funny. But, so this is not kids' show, right? We talk about fucked up shit here. Your kids shouldn't be watching it, right? If you want to watch it, and your parents think it's okay, that's fine. But your parents should really review every video that I do before you fucking watch it. Because, just saying. Anyways, so, it's an adult program. And I'm going to use adult language, right? So, it's not my go-to word. I'm not Australian. It's not fuck is the every other word in my vocabulary. It isn't the other one. So, I use it on very special occasions. And the reason why I don't beat it to death is because I want it to have that impact. When I throw out fucking cunt, I want you guys to go, ooh, I want that to be there. I've learned through my life that if you beat a word to death, it loses all meaning. I used to get yelled at every time I would slip and say fuck in front of my parents, right? I used to get yelled at about it. And then my mom and dad got really into watching the Osbournes. And then all of a sudden, fuck was kind of okay to say in the house. And now I say it all the time, just like I do when I'm recording. I am no different. And it goes by with not even a glance. So, you use a word a whole lot, it loses all meaning. I want it to still have meaning. I want it to resonate. I want it to be something that when I say, you go, oh. So, what you got was exactly what was intended. If it offended you, it's because it should have. Because it's not something I say all the time, and it should hit hard, right? Now, just think about the words I never say. And they have been uttered on this channel a few times. Dennis did it first. So after Dennis did it, I figure it doesn't really matter if I do it because I can always blame it on him. The focus of this channel is always the passing of blame. You will come to learn that in the coming days, I think, because if people start blaming me for shit, I'm going to pass the blame, because it's how I work. That's why I'm never in trouble for anything. That's why my sister hates me. But anyways, so yeah, that's the first thing. You guys are going to hear some adult shit. I'm going to say these words, right? And when they get said, it's going to be infrequent enough that it is going to have the effect I want it to have. So there's that. Just clearing that up. The other thing, apparently a lot of you have master's degrees and doctorates. I don't know you from Adam. You are a screen name and a little T picture to me, and whatever it is that you type. But a lot of people like to tell me about their degrees before they tell me how wrong I am, or how unknowledgeable about a subject I am, or whatever. And more often than not, it seems pretty legit. I will say that. A lot of things get said, but of course, anybody can read any article about anything and then sound like an expert. I firmly believe. But my whole thing about this is, right, that they tell me about their degrees, and then they launch into this whole thing, and then they say you should really educate yourself more before you make these videos. Now, the only reason I think that somebody would tell me that I need to educate myself on a subject before I talk about it is because they disagree with me in some way, right? Or I didn't convey the message the way they would have liked the message conveyed, or the way they would have conveyed the message. Or I didn't use the facts that they would have used or that they wanted me to use. And here's the thing. I do precious little research on this channel. If this is just dawning on you, clearly you're new, and welcome to the show. There are times when I go into it, and there are things that I just know. If we start talking about killer whales someday, I'm going to drop a lot of shit. So, but I've watched a documentary or two on them. That's why I know these things. I haven't really taken a lot of child psychology classes. And I don't think that I need to have a child psychology degree to make a video on YouTube about Lindsay from Queer Kids Stuff being interviewed by Riley and talking about whether or not it's appropriate for children 3 to 10 to hear about fucking all this shit, right? So, I don't think I need a degree for that. And I've never told anybody that I am a fucking expert on anything. I think I said once I was an expert on warehousing, and I will still stick to that. If you have a warehouse and it's all fucked up, and you want that shit fixed, send me an email, and I'll get back to you on the weekends, and we can work out a deal. I'll come fix your warehouse for you. I'm really good at that shit. I'm a really good tail motor operator. Really, really good. I already have a job, so it's not like I'm going to come to just drive a tail motor to your factory. Whatever. So, anyways, but, yeah, like, I don't really consider myself an expert in fucking anything. And I tell people all the time, I'm pretty much riding by the seat of my pants here. Like, I'm just talking. These are my opinions. This is my point of view. This is my perspective. This is my funny joke. That's really all this is. So if you're coming here to get really good information on stuff, you've come to the wrong place. What you're going to find here is what I think about shit. That's it. That's all you're going to find. Every once in a while, I will do the work. And I will, put statistics and shit like that up. I've done it in the past, and I imagine I will do it in the future. But for the most part, with things that aren't really quantifiable like that, like, is it okay to show 3-year-olds, guys kissing and then talk to them about it? That, come on, there are no statistics for that. I think it's fucked up. Now, what was said, I think, in that comment, was very important, so I will relay it. Apparently, the thing with child psychology now, as far as introducing children to sexual education, is a progressive thing. You kind of broach the subject extremely lightly, apparently around the age of 8, and then you gradually kind of over the years up to, whatever, 15, 16, whatever the fuck it is, you gradually increase their knowledge on the subject so that it's never a bombardment, and so that it's not, anything that they'll just that will make them uncomfortable just by having the discussion. You know what I mean? So it's something where you build that trust structure and you fucking live in it when you talk about whatever. However you want to look at it, we can use whatever little psychological things we want to do. But nevertheless, that is the popular thought now on it. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. So the comment was not lost on me. I still got good information out of it. But it made me laugh because it made me think about all the other doctorates that I've talked to, and they tell me stuff, and I'm like, you ain't got a degree. Like, or if you did, it's really just a piece of paper. You could say that you earned it, but you don't really deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people like that have talked about their degrees with me, and I'm like, so, yeah, I just wanted to say that, make that, you know, abundantly clear to everybody. And what was the other thing? Oh, apparently there is a different Joy pedo thing. Apparently she had a website called Indigo Abuse or something like that. And on that website, pedophiles got into it and were fucking with the abuse victims or whatever. This is all very spotty. It's shit I'm getting in comments, so it is what it is. And apparently, like, they were messing with the kids in whatever chat comments. I don't even know. I don't know how the site was structured. And then they shut the site down. And that's why there's no information on it, because they immediately shut the site down. This was apparently years ago, and that shit is just fucking gone now. So, really, all in all, that could... I mean, I don't know Joy's role in the whole thing. Apparently, she ran the site. And if pedophiles got into the site and started abusing her site, that's not her fault. And if she found out about it and shut that shit down, good on her. You know what I mean? So, still haven't heard anything that's made me view Joy in a bad light because of it. Haven't heard any pedophile rings. I heard she had a site. Pedophiles got into it. She shut it down. So it's still kind of a big old fat nothing burger. But at least now there's a little bit more clarity into the fact that Joy is still not having sex with kids and not a part of selling them for sexual purposes. So, pedo ring, still have yet to find, but more pedo information. Whatever. So, on to the video. Here we are! Yay! A thing I like to do whenever I make a Joy or Onision video is I like to do kind of a Trump supporting video, because I get a lot of subscribers and I want to make sure you guys are down, right? It's not a requirement to agree with Trump. It's not a requirement to love the man. It's just a requirement that you're going to have to listen to me talk about him, because I do the fucking news. So, here we go. But I don't always just do like Trump. Sometimes I like to just highlight badass motherfuckers. Like people, and this isn't even really entirely about Trump. It turns into Trump by the end, but the beginning is very much Paris Dennard. Fucking Paris Dennard. I love Paris Dennard. He gets overshadowed a lot, and I think he's going to get overshadowed in this video too. But Paris Dennard was a key element in the most viewed video that I have on this channel. And Don Lemon really stole the show, because Paris Dennard got him so riled up that he fucking got pissed off and screamed at him and then walked off. But it was Paris Dennard, you know what I mean? So, Paris Dennard's also put in another video on this channel. Fucking great video. A guy said a very, very naughty word in front of Paris Dennard. Paris Dennard took it like a man. He went, and I've used that a couple of times. It's kind of become a meme. But, whatever. Yeah. So, I would like to, for at least the first half of this video, highlight the man, Paris Dennard. Please walk with me as we see exactly what type of a man Paris Dennard is.
When it comes to the president, I was proud to see him once again disavow his association, talk about why he does not associate himself with these organizations, these hate groups. He did this back in March of 2016 with respect to David Duke. And he said, David Duke is a bad person. I disavow from David Duke. I disavow from the KKK. He did that in March of 2016. He gave a statement this weekend that wasn't strong enough for a lot of people because he did not name specifically these different hate groups.
Was just it strong like President. Enough for you?
Yes. Yeah, it was strong. Yes, it was strong enough for me because he came out and said hatred, bigotry, and violence have no place in our society in America. And that was true.
Love Paris Dennard. Tucker's my favorite. Tucker's the man. You know, it's Tucker. But fucking Paris Dennard, man. Love this motherfucker.
And he was talking about the hate
sides and not specifying groups.
Listen,
okay.
You know what? When President Obama, after Charleston, came out right after Charleston 9 and gave his remarks, it was a very tempered response, and he did not go into details because he didn't know all the facts. He did not name all of those people by name, all those hate groups by name, and did not call that person who was a domestic terrorist, and we knew that he was, a white supremacist, a neo-Nazi, or a member of the KKK. He didn't do any of that, but he didn't receive the backlash. But President Trump did do that today. He did it, and afterwards, when Jim Acosta came and asked him about it again, he said, they have been disavowed. They have been disavowed. They have been disavowed.
Can I just say something real quickly, Brooke?
And the last point to this, Keith, I didn't interrupt you.
God damn. See, Paris has usually been a lot more reserved. Like, usually people interrupt him all the time, and he just kind of goes... And he just kind of takes it, and he waits for them to run out, and then he starts talking again. And that was what was so funny about the Don Lemon clip, because that's what he did. Paris would say 3 words, and fucking Don would be off to the races again, fucking just pissed. So, it's interesting to see Paris, like, fucking, no, I interrupt you. Like, it's interesting to see that side of it. Like, it's very unexpected for me.
Is that I'm surprised that all of a sudden we want the President of the United States to be our bishop, our priest, our pastor. If you go back to past presidents, Bill Clinton, Richard Nixon for many instances, or even if you go back to JFK, there have been huge examples of moral failure. So the President of the United States has never been someone that we look to be our moral leader.
And we shouldn't. Our government is not there to govern our morality. That is for us to decide, for ourselves. Our government is to decide what is right and what is wrong. That's it. Stealing's wrong. Not because it's immoral, but because somebody earned that and it's not right for you to take it from them. Murder is wrong. Not because it's immoral, but because killing somebody's fucking wrong. Like, we ascribed morality to these, but these have been decided as a collective are things we just don't do in polite society, right? It very much is a societal thing. We put greater meaning to it because we add spirituality and other things to it, and we consider things moral or not. But our government is here to just govern. That's it. They shouldn't tell us what is right or wrong to do, or right or wrong to say, or right or wrong to think, because that's tyranny. Right? If you want a perfect person, if you want somebody who was beyond fault and repute, you can't elect Jesus Christ because he's the only one that was perfect. God damn. Jesus Christ! 2020.
Go ahead.
This is a political leader.
I'm sorry to the other guests. I just have to say something about this.
See? And that's the Paris I usually see. He gets interrupted, and he kind of backs down and goes, fucking talk.
We have a president of the United States right now who started his political career by attacking the first African-American president with a racist birtherist attack, which he continued for 5 years.
2 things, 2 small points. He started his career in politics the first time he ran for president, which was long before Obama was president. So that wasn't his start. And secondly, let's be honest, Hillary Clinton started the whole fucking thing. So
he started his political campaign by attacking Mexicans.
by attacking Mexicans? Or by attacking illegal immigrants? Was he attacking Mexican people in Mexico because that's where they live? Or was he attacking the Mexican people that were coming into the United States illegally, therefore making them criminals?
And he started his ascendancy in the political campaign by attacking Muslims.
By attacking Muslims? Or by putting a temporary ban on immigration from highly terrorist whatever nations, right? Until we get a better vetting process for those people in order to protect our citizenry.
He has a history of racism, and he's failed to repudiate this.
Really? Because many a time I have heard the man say, I'm not into that shit. So, and also, it's something you're talking about, you know, hear him actually doing that. So, a little fucking stupid.
This is unlike President Obama. I'm offended that you continue to go there, Paris, but the reality is that President Trump has not done enough, and I'm ashamed that you, as an African-American, Paris, will not say that.
Did anybody else just do that? Oh, shit. I don't know if Paris is going to like that.
Well, Keith, I don't need you to try to pull my black card. I am well aware of my blackness and don't need you to try to classify me as being one. I understand what racism is.
Oh, shit.
Keith, don't go there. Do not go there. I know what it means to be a black man in this country. I know, and I experience racism on a regular basis by being a Trump supporter and by being a proud American who happens to be a Republican. I get racist
so that's the racism
Keith,
you experience
let me
by being a
finish.
Trump
I get
supporter?
racist comments about my family, about my mother, about my girlfriend, about my character every single day from mostly coming from black people, Keith. If you really want to get down to it, I'm from my family's from Georgia. Keith, let me finish.
Shit!
Guys.
My family's from Georgia. We have members of our family that went missing because of the KKK taking them up. So don't come to me and tell me about what it means to be a black person in this country. I fought every day in the George W. Bush White House. Yes, Keith, let me finish.
Calm down and answer the question.
No. I won't calm down because I will not be attacked by you about my blackness.
Damn! Paris knows he's fucking black! God damn it! Oh, you tell him about that shit!
Because I happen to be a Republican and I listen to our president.
Paris,
who went
you've
on
really
multiple
gone off the
instances.
rails here.
Okay.
I am going
off the rails here.
Because you have no grounds and no respect to attack
Paris,
somebody like this.
You're obviously very sensitive and defensive about this issue,
you better
Paris,
watch
because you
your
have
mouth
your own
when you
issues
talk to
and
me,
demons
Keith.
to
Oh, shit, Keith. You better watch your fucking mouth, man.
resolve.
Get your guest under
Keith
control.
And Paris, just do me a favor. Just
Get your guest under control. That'd be you, man, but shit.
please come
Get
on
him
my
under
show and
control because I will not come on the show and be disrespected and have
I
my
understand.
authentic.
Oh, you can disrespect
attacked by
African Americans every day when you come on the show.
Hang on.
God damn, man, this dude is just wanting it.
Please.
And you don't represent them at all. You don't
Give me a
represent
minute.
the 8% of the
Guys,
that voted for
You
this
do, of
president.
course, Paris.
guys.
You're the spokesperson.
Guys,
I'm not their
please, just a
spokesperson,
minute.
but I happen to be a
Joe, I
black
wanna
person
bring
who
Joe in.
agrees with this
Paris,
president and am proud that he
please, sir.
stood up there and
Good for
said
you,
what he
Paris.
said,
Good for
denouncing
you.
the Klan, denouncing David Booth like he did in March, and denouncing
After
the
he was
hatred,
forced
bigotry,
to
and
do it.
violence.
It took him
He
2
wasn't
days to
forced to
denounce
do it.
It took
He
him
was
2
not
days to
forced to
denounce
do it.
David Duke.
Take that conversation. Have it off camera. I
Fucking really? This is the best goddamn thing I've seen all week.
really would like to have a substantive conversation about.
Yeah, well, he better watch how he
race.
talks about me, too.
I understand.
Shit! I mean, watch how you talk about me. God damn. See, Paris is driving it too. I think Paris is just working some shit out. I don't know. I think Paris has been on CNN too fucking long. The Republicans need to pull Paris out for a little bit and put him on Fox for a while, just to kind of loosen him up a little bit. They need to rotate him the fuck out. Like, Paris, man, they gotta find him a different place to work, because shit, he is. Whew.
And let's
Paris,
please have
shut up,
respect.
please, for God's sake. Why do you keep doing this?
So you're gonna let him call me to tell me to shut up?
No,
when Ken
okay,
Cuccinelli did that
Paris,
to Simone
be
Sanders,
quiet.
it was a meltdown. Don't tell me to shut up on the show. This is preposterous, and you know
Guys,
Paris. fucking love that guy. When somebody from my side said that shit, it was a fucking meltdown. Is this a fucking meltdown? Oh my god. Fucking love this man.
Please, respect. Give me a minute. Joe, I know you've been listening to all of this. Your eyebrows have been raising. How do you view how as a conservative, you know, as a beloved member of the Republican Party, we've talked at length about that. How you're listening to the president, listening to this conversation on this show. This is where we are now in this country.
Yeah, Joe, wake up, man. What do you think?
I think that the reality is that this is where we've been at as a nation for a very long time.
True.
So I don't think that this is necessarily something that is new. I think that for a lot of Americans, they're just finally realizing the fissures that have existed in this nation for a very long time. I listen to what just occurred right now. It's heartbreaking. Because again, I look at both of you, you are my brothers.
See, I hope he brings it around to, you know, my brothers as in we're all humans. I hope it's not just going into the race thing again. Because, man, that's part of the fissures.
And regardless of what's happening right now in this country, that we have to find a way to fix these issues as brothers. And not tearing each other down, not engaging in black-on-black intellectual crime in prime time.
No, it's the race thing. Engaging in black-on-black intellectual crime on prime time. Like, it's cool that it rhymes, but god damn it.
You know, so I understand that we get frustrated when people try to castigate us. You know, I get ridiculous things on Twitter the same way as you do, Paris. And I understand the frustration and the anger, but you cannot drive out hate with rage.
I will say I like that. You cannot drive out hate with rage. I like that. I really do. That is a good message. At least he's got that going for him. That is a really good message.
You know, and so again, that we need to figure out a way that we can, as a nation, as people, as a community of people of color, as a nation of people that is the tapestry of all different ethnicities, figure out how we can, again, come together, hold hands, and do things differently.
He's bringing me back around. I like this guy, too. That's a good message. It's disappointing that he went into the race thing, but, you know, he seems like he's got his head screwed on straight.
I think there are realities that we need to confront on the Republican side as well as just as a nation. I think that when you have a president that habitually communicates in the language of hyperbole, when you contrast that with the statement that he made over the weekend, it makes it very difficult for people who have been marginalized, for people who do not necessarily feel like they have felt the warm embrace from this president, to believe that he is being sincere.
Clearly you guys don't realize the difference of when it's appropriate to speak in hyperbole and when you have a KKK rally or a fucking Nazi rally or a racist rally or whatever the fuck you want to call it, when you got that shit going on in the town in your country that you're president of, and there's a counter protest that gets violent and somebody dies because of essentially a terrorist attack, that's not the time to speak in fucking hyperbole. So when he says, I condemn violence committed on all sides, he's fucking talking about everybody, right? Like, he didn't want to get the fucking backlash of, he included Black Lives Matter and Antifa with the supremacists. He didn't want to deal with that fucking nonsense, so he said everybody. But you guys had to have him say specifically people, so he said specifically all the people you wanted. And that made me upset because he didn't include Black Lives Matter and Antifa. So, or I think he did include Antifa, but he didn't include Black Lives Matter. And they were fucking there too, man. So, like, you can't fucking win with everybody. But at least I'm going to be willing to go, well, he knows. He just didn't say it. And fucking whatever. He's condemned it on all sides, and that was good enough for me.
That is just the outcome of what has transpired, for better and for worse. And so I think, again, ultimately, it's incumbent on us, those of us who have this platform, those of us who have been blessed with the opportunity to have input on issues that impact people's lives, to be able to sit down and say, what is our objective? and then say that there is not one path to get there, but then multiple forces from different standpoints can work together to get us to where we're trying to be as a society.
I think that was good. That sounded really good. It ended with getting us together as a society, and I like that. So, hit or miss with me, with this guy, but for the most part, I like his message. I just don't know about his rhetoric there. But the message is still good. We gotta just fucking come together. Please.
I want to add this. I think it's
Sarah.
important to note.
Something tells me it is not going to be important to note this.
You know, this fight that we're just now having, we haven't even mentioned the victim's name, Heather Hare, who died as a result of hatred. And I think it's really important to remind everyone why we're talking about this now. And if you thought, or people thought, that we were living in a post-racial world because we had a black president, welcome to reality.
I don't know where she's going with this, but this doesn't sound like I'm going to like it.
I think that's one thing that people forget is they say, oh, well, now, look, we have a black president. Look how great America is coming together. We are divided, and it's getting worse.
Yeah, it's interesting. We all came together and we had a black president, and a lot of people got pissed off because that kind of shit became more important than fucking getting together. So we elected Donald Trump. Because really, it was the only fucking choice. Like, when it all came down to it, it was essentially more of the same bullshit, or we fucking roll the dice on Donald Trump. Everybody decided to roll the fucking dice, because anything just fucking get something different is good, right? And then all of you guys on your side decided to make him the fucking Antichrist. So, here we are. You've got racist motherfuckers on both sides that just want to fucking cause chaos. And then you've got assholes in the middle that just want to fucking cause chaos. And you guys keep feeding this fucking shit because you guys are all assholes as well. So, yeah, big fucking surprise that shit's going crazy.
I want to give you some idea about how we can very specifically look at what President Trump did not do, the words he did not use in the first 48 hours, and how that affected neo-Nazis, one of the most prolific, most well-known neo-Nazi. I want to read you what he said after the president came out with his initial statement. And if this doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will.
And here we go. Look. If there was a Donald Trump commercial before this video, I would know that Donald Trump doesn't endorse this video. And when Donald Trump comes out and says there was violence on both sides and I condemn it, I know who he's fucking talking about. Both sides. And when he then comes out and says, fuck the KKK and the white supremacists and all of them, I don't like them, I disavow them, fuck them. No, don't like it, totally against it, fucking no, right? But because he didn't say it in the way you want it, didn't say it as fast as you want it, didn't answer the question 50 fucking times from everybody who wanted to ask it to him, he said, I don't like that shit, fuck it. That's not good enough for you. And so you turn it into all this shit. And then what happens? Right? It's beautiful. It's fucking sad and disgusting how beautiful it is. But you have to admit, when the full impact of it hits you, it's fucking beautiful.
Here is what the Daily Stormer, the guy that runs it, said. He said Trump's comments were good. He didn't attack us. He just said the nation should come together. Nothing specific against us. When asked to condemn, he just walked out of the room. Really, really good. God bless him.
Now see, they took your rhetoric and they said it. You all said he didn't name these people specifically. Clearly he's in favor of them. And they said, hey, he didn't name us specifically. Clearly he's in favor of us. This bitch is the dumbest motherfucker in the world. That she's saying this as if fucking this means anything. The Daily Stormer is also the website that said that they were the biggest PewDiePie website on the internet when everybody's saying that PewDiePie was a fucking Nazi. And then when everybody got pissed off at the Wall Street Journal, what did they do? They put the fucking Wall Street Journal on their head. Because why not? Fuck them. The people are assholes at the Daily Stormer. It's what they fucking do for a living. Because they talk about hating fucking people for no good reason. And that's an asshole fucking thing to do. And you assholes gave them the perfect fucking line. And they said it. That's all they needed to do. And look what you're doing now. You're continuing this shit. Because now, because they said it, clearly that must make it true. Because the Daily Stormer said, hey, the president didn't name us specifically. Clearly he's not talking about us. That all of a sudden makes it fucking true. Fucking assholes.
Those words are coming from a person who uses the most vile, disgusting, hateful, anti-Semitic, anti-black, you name it, misogynistic. He has gone after the victim in this case, and these are the words coming from him.
And what else do you need to discredit the words of this man? Seriously, what else do you need to show you that when he says something, you kind of look at it and go, but fuck him. Right? Like, am I wrong?
That's how President Trump came off to those who believe in white supremacy.
Who gives a shit? That's them. Fuck them.
That is a major problem. Words matter. They matter to everyone who is listening to the president, and the fact that he waited a couple of days to actually name these groups and say, look, no to the KKK, no to neo-Nazis. We have to look at this as they look at it. They are taking it as a signal that Trump is giving them a thumbs up.
Why? Why do we need to look at it that way? Why does it matter that he waited a couple of days to say specifically groups when he said all sides? All sides. You guys made him, after a couple of days, fucking come out and go, okay, clearly you didn't understand what I meant when I said all. So the KKK and the white supremacists and fucking all. Like, This is why. A couple people have mentioned it to me in the comments. A couple people have said, you're getting away from politics a whole lot and you're doing all this trash. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I am. Because honestly, I like the trash better.